Okay, Libra, so let's get started with your monthly love reading. All right, so the first card I pulled for you guys, and I keep doing this, and I'm so sorry about it. I'll get the hang of it, I promise. All right, first card I pulled for you is the Nine of Wands. Okay, so the Nine of Wands in the past position can represent someone who was exhausted, maybe burnt out, a person who was hurt but still had a little bit of fight left in them, not ready to give up. Okay, it's the card represents courage, persistence, a test of faith, and resilience. I call it the card of kind of like hanging in there. All right, he's got one wand in his hand, and he's still ready to go into battle. On the negative side, it could represent someone who was on edge, defensive, hesitant, or maybe paranoia. Okay, so at some point you needed to take a breather or time out. You just had gotten to a point where you were tired, but you were not done. Okay, so now we move on to the next card in your past position, and that's the Three of Cups. Okay, so the Three of Cups represent celebration, friendships, creativity. Um, Mutual support, teamwork, and all the benefits of a harmonious situation. Okay, it can also represent third party situations because of the Three Cups, but I don't. I know that in relationships, in my opinion, third party doesn't necessarily mean affair. I feel like sometimes third party can just be anybody who is causing your partner to be distracted. It could be a family member, it could be a parent, it could be a best friend. I feel like third party isn't always necessarily cheating, even though a lot of times it is because of the celebratory tone. But, third party, that's all we know. But that's just on the negative side. Um, so it can also be new developments in a relationship, okay? Uh, in dating, it might represent someone who has multiple options. So we're dealing with the past position. So it's basically right now you're thinking back to happy times, happier memories, a time where you felt maybe secure. Okay, in the past position, this card is a reminder that happy times can happen for you again. All right, so maybe right now you might be a little nostalgic, looking back to a period where things were good. And judging from this next card, your past had a lot of good experiences and happy times. Okay, so the Ten of Cups, the card of harmony and marriage, happiness, happily ever after. Okay, can symbolize great happiness in the relationship and a strong feeling of togetherness. Okay, it doesn't necessarily point to the commitment of the relationship, just the lack or the level, the level of the emotion. Okay, on the negative side, it can represent skewed values, a broken home, or a broken marriage. All right, so you want to be careful of that too. Also, sometimes it tends to represent hmm no, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. Yes, we are. Okay. I've said it before in other readings, so I'll say it here. The Ten of Cups in a relationship can also signify um, a level of arrogance. If the relationship is coming to you too easily, some people, they get an air of arrogance around them because it's like, yeah, I got this. Everything falls into place. You meet someone, you and that person click, and it may not necessarily be out of anything that you've done other than that your energy, you guys vibe together. But if you take it for granted, that's not necessarily a good thing either. Okay? So moving on now to the cards in your present position. Okay, so the first card we're going to pull for your present position is the Magician. Okay? Next card we're pulling for your present position is the Four of Pentacles. Okay, and the last card in your present position is is the Seven of Pentacles. And I'm going to flip these two around since I'm reading in that direction. I don't know why I haven't got used to doing this upside down yet. I don't know. Okay. All right. So let's start with the Magician. Okay. So the Magician represents power, skill, concentration, resourcefulness. Okay, this is a card that's saying the possibilities are endless for you right now. Okay, you know what to do and you know how to do it. All right, you know how to manifest whatever it is that you want right now. On the flip side, the magician can also represent someone who's manipulative. It can represent poor planning and latent talent. So, you've got what it takes to get what you want, but you're not using it. All right. And it can symbolize a lover who treats their partner very well, someone with good intentions at heart. So the relationship is blessed by the universe. Okay. It also indicates that in any disagreement, things will be smoothed over just by you guys communicating positively. All right. On the flip side, it can represent someone who is self centered and exploiting their partner. So we want to be careful about that. In the present position, your free will add good luck to your present situation, okay? You and your partner are working together to move things forward. So seize the opportunity that the energy of this card is giving you. All right. So basically, you're right now you have the opportunity to kind of make things happen. All right. You've been thinking back to the past and times that were happier. So you have the opportunity to be able to do that. All right, so here we move on to the second position, and it's the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles represents control, stability, um, security, possessions, and conservatism. All right, on the negative side, it can represent greed, materialism, self-protection. Okay, you're holding on to something. So you know what I want to ask is, like, are you being controlling or possessive? Okay, this may imply that this may be the image that you are portraying to others. It can indicate a lack of commitment in the relationship, or maybe not wanting to give your partner the attention that they deserve, or feeling like your partner doesn't deserve attention, or whatever it is that your partner wants, you're withholding because you don't feel like they deserve it, which is an aspect of controlling. Okay, and we all know that controlling stems from fear. So it can indicate that there's a strong bond in the relationship and lots of love and security between the partners. All right, but it really stems to some type of control. All right, so are you the partner that's being controlling right now? You are the magician, okay? And if you are using, these powers for your benefit, are you using them by manipulating your partner? You might want to be careful about that, because the Four of Pentacles is someone who's holding on tight, okay? Whether there's tight reins, or maybe it's a relationship that's kind of run out. You had the Nine of Wands in your last position. So if the relationship is on its last legs and you're not ready to let it go yet, that's where this card can come up. Um, Let me see. It can indicate a loss of control in the situation as well. Okay, perhaps there's been a disagreement and you lost your temper, and you said some things that you necessarily aren't the nicest things, and that's also what can come with the Four of Pentacles. And then the next position, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so a lot of earthly energy going on here. So this is some serious business in your relationship. Okay, Seven of Pentacles represents vision, perseverance, reward, investments. Okay, um, reflecting on a situation or assessing a situation. So in a relationship, it can represent any issue that needs consideration, good or bad. Okay, whether you're trying to determine moving to the next level, you still have to consider that step. All right, so that's where you are right now. Is this relationship going anywhere? Is my partner doing enough? Am I doing enough? Okay, it can also represent kind of like a see what happens attitude. All right. Um, so on the negative side, the card can indicate a lack of long-term vision. Okay, maybe there was an initial success in their situation, but you don't see, or you haven't been able to see a long-term outcome for the situation, and now you're reflecting. Okay, because this card on a lower level, it can signal a relationship that's built based on impulsiveness. So maybe you guys came together really quickly, but right now you're considering the foundation of your relationship. Okay, what is here that's really keeping us together? Okay, maybe there's a lot of red flags and you're just critically thinking and weighing the pros and cons as needed. All right, in the present position, it's about exercising your free will. Okay, so are you going to stay in this relationship? Are you going to do what's needed? Are you going to put in more work into this situation? That's what the 7 of Pentacles is asking you. Okay? So let's move on to your future. All right, so the first card we have in the future position is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay? The next card we have in the future the 10 of Wands. Okay? And the last card in the reading and in the future position is the 8 of Pentacles. So you have a lot of issues or questions about the stability or the security of this situation, of your relationship. Okay? Um, let's see, let's start with the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so the Ace of Pentacles represents the ultimate manifestation, financial opportunities, and prosperity. Okay, because it's pentacles, it is a beginning, but it's a more solid, grounded type of a situation. All right. Um, in the negative, it can represent a lost opportunity, a lack of planning or foresight. Okay, so basically, in the future, seeds will be planted. Um, and it could be for the current union or possibly a new one because it's a new beginning. But I'm looking at the rest of the cards and I'm looking at the past cards, and it seems like it's the same situation because you have the 10 of Wands here, which can symbolize doing too much or carrying a heavy load. So here, there may be a new beginning in the direction of your relationship that requires you to put in a lot of work into the situation. All right, so the Ace of Pentacles can represent a solidity at the initial stage of a relationship, okay, and can symbolize that things progress in a positive or satisfying way. The partners see each other in a practical way, okay. It can also point towards a partner that is financially stable and possibly more financially stable than the other. Okay, so you have that dynamic in a relationship where one partner is taking care of the other. Could be a mutual beneficial agreement, or it could be that one partner is attracted to another partner because they are materially successful and able to take care of them. So you want to be mindful of that as well, because if you are starting over, you do have a new beginning, but you still wind up here. So you went from the 9 of Pentacles in the past to the 10 of Pentacles in your future. That means you are still taking on more. You might be the one that's carrying the load of this relationship somehow, whether it's emotionally, whether it's financially, but you're putting in a little bit more effort than your partner. Okay. On a good note, this can also represent partners that consider each other relationship material. Okay. Um, and if we want to go back to beginnings, even though it does represent a solid beginning, it can also represent lots of problems at the beginning of a relationship. Okay, so now we move on to 10 of Wands, and 10 of Wands represent responsibility, hard work, a burden, stress, achievement. Okay, in the negative aspect, it can represent taking on too much or avoiding your responsibility. Okay, so in a relationship, it kind of points towards having too much to do. Okay, good or bad. So things may not necessarily be bad or negative, but you just know that there's going to be a lot that you're going to have to put into to make things work or to make things right or to make things go better. So you might have, you know, turned a corner or turned into another direction, but things haven't gotten any easier. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean they're bad, but I mean, if you've been in a stressful or an exhausting situation for a while, usually it doesn't just change just like that. Okay, so you are now basically doing a lot more than you were before, could be. It also symbolizes two partners who are willing to do anything to keep each other happy. Okay, whether that's enough is the question. So if both of you are putting your all into the relationship and there's still issues, that's where, this can also come into play, because you're doing as much as you can. It's not that you're not trying, you're doing all that you can. It just, for whatever reason, is not enough. Okay, or you are doing all that you can and your partner is not appreciative of it. All right, so that's kind of a bummer. Okay, so let's move on to the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is basically symbolizing that it's time to get to work, okay? It represents a period of hard work that lies ahead, but the results could be better than anything that you've imagined. All right, so your desires are within your reach if you stay diligent. In loves, it represents building something with value. It means creating something meaningful with security, with love, with friendship, and working at keeping this going. In the future position, it's a sign to be careful of what you wish for, because you just might get it. Not meaning that what you get is not going to be what you want, but it means to be prepared, okay? Be prepared for the hard work. You may get what you want, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be smooth sailing. So that's what this card in the future position is telling you. So basically, if we want to look at it this way, because I don't feel like this is a new relationship. I don't feel like you jumped from, one relationship in the past into a new one. I feel like it's the same relationship, and you are you turned a corner, okay? Maybe you guys sat down, you had a discussion, and you said, "You know what? Whatever we had before wasn't working for us, but we still love each other. Let's move on." Okay. And now you realize what really is going to be required. Okay, you're giving it everything you had. Okay, with the Nine of Wands, you still had something left, and this is it. This is everything that you have. Okay, so you're putting it all into the relationship, and here you see that you can have what you want. You can have this relationship with your partner, but it's going to take some hard work. Okay, and this card is telling you to be prepared for the hard work. All right, mentally prepare yourself. So I feel like that was a successful reading. I mean, obviously, um, whoever this resonates with, I don't know what was going on in the past. Maybe in the past you weren't taking the relationship seriously. You guys came together. You had the Ten of Cups. Everything was great. It was maybe a spontaneous union, or for whatever reasons, you kind of just focused on the good things in a relationship. And now you're going to stay with the person, but you realize that relationships take work. Relationships take work, and from this reading I see that you're absolutely ready to put in that work. So good luck, Libra. Leave me a comment, let me know how this reading worked out for you, and I hope that you come back and have another reading with me next month. Okay, thank you, bye.